Welcome to the home team, the show where no matter who you root for, here you're a part of the home team. I'm your host, Wyatt Bagnall, and today we are previewing week 5 of the 2025 NFL season. Before we jump in, hit like, hit subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And without any further ado, let's predict these games. So, starting with Thursday Night Football, we have a game that is not super exciting anymore. San Francisco going to LA to take on the Rams. I'll make this short and sweet. The Rams are going to win this game. I've had this game circled for a while as a game that the Rams are going to win. And the 49ers are even more injured now than they were last week, where Brock Purdy's out again, Ricky Pearsall is out now, Jawan Jennings is out now, on top of the litany of everybody else. So I think that there is a certain level that you just can't really overcome, especially against good teams, and the Rams are a very, very good football team. So I think it's going to be the Rams winning this game, and I would think they're going to win it by a pretty comfortable margin. So bummer, but it is what it is. Sunday, we have another European game where the Vikings dropped the last one. They get another chance over there to play against the Cleveland Browns. Now, what do I think about this one? So here's what I would say. If this game was just a normal, like, U.S. game, I might actually pick the Browns to win this game. Because I think their defense is just going to be able to subdue this Minnesota offense that is just not really firing on all cylinders yet this year. But I'm going to take Minnesota for a very, very simple reason. They've been able to stay over in Europe for 2 weeks. They won't have this same, like, their body needs to adjust, that type of stuff. And then we also learned today that Dylan Gabriel is going to be the starter for the Browns, not Joe Flacco anymore. So they're already getting into their rotation of rookies. I think to ask a rookie to get his first start against Brian Flores half a world away from where you would normally be playing, I just think it's a lot to ask. I wouldn't be shocked if this game is very low scoring. And if it is low scoring, then the Browns still have a chance to pull it off. But I think the Browns are asking a lot of their rookie quarterback going up against Brian Flores in a different hemisphere where the Vikings they've already been practicing there for 2 weeks. I'm going to take Minnesota despite the respect I have for the Cleveland Browns defense. Houston at Baltimore. I mean, crap. This was a game that we were all supposed to be excited about. And then all of a sudden, I mean, they're both 1-3. Both of them, beating just a team that's not great. I mean, Houston, they shut out Tennessee 26-0. That game was not nearly as much of a blowout as that score would indicate. Not necessarily from the Texans' defense. The Texans' defense was legit and beat up on the Browns, but you're supposed to. Or beat up on the Titans, which, you're supposed to. The Ravens are the ones that beat the Browns. In another game that was not as bad as the score would indicate. What do I think is going to win? Okay, so this is going to be... How do I put this? The Texans' defense and the Ravens' offense are both good groups. However, we do have a problem for the Ravens. They will not have Lamar Jackson in this game. I believe that's been confirmed at this point. I know he had the hamstring last week. I want to be completely sure here. He pulled the hamstring last week and ugly loss to the Chiefs. Yeah, he could miss 2 to 3 weeks with his hamstring injury. And to me, ultimately, that's going to be the difference in why I'm going to ultimately pick the Texans. I hate the Texans' offense. I think it's terrible. I think really their offensive line in particular is terrible. But Baltimore's defense has not been stepping up to the plate, and Houston's has. If Lamar was in this game, I would pick the Ravens just because I would say that despite the Texans' defense being really good, Lamar's going to make 2 or 3 things happen that just there's nothing you can do about. But Cooper Rush is not. It's in Baltimore, which is great for the Ravens, but I'm going to take the Texans just because I think their offense has to be able to do enough against what is now a very injured Ravens team. Like, Roquan Smith's got a hamstring, Lamar's got the hamstring, Nnamdi Madubuike, IR, done for the year, neck injury. Like, they're having guys drop, and especially guys in the front seven, it makes it a lot more difficult to exploit that Texans offensive line. Baltimore still could. I won't honestly say I'll be shocked if Baltimore wins this game, but I'm picking this just based on the Texans have a really good defense, and at least they have their starting quarterback. That's about all I can really say for them. Okay, Miami at Carolina. Ew. Just ew. This is a gross game. I don't particularly want to watch this game, but I will do it just because I have to be able to, keep track of these teams. Miami's coming off their first win. Carolina's coming off getting their asses kicked. Tyreek Hill's out for the year. But Carolina's just Carolina. Oh, gosh. I mean, they're both bad all over the place. Does Miami's offense have enough without Tyreek Hill to exploit to exploit the Carolina defense? God damn it. No. I don't know. But I don't think Carolina's got enough to do anything either. The Jets are, like, scarier than the Panthers are, at least in terms of talent. I don't like either of these teams as they are right now. But give me Miami. Oh, it feels terrible to say that. Okay. Vegas at Indianapolis. The Raiders coming off a tough loss to the Bears where Ashton Jeanty breaks out, has this awesome game. Max Crosby has the game of his life, and they still lose on a blocked field goal. And then you have the Colts, who, despite losing, played a hell of a game. And if not for Adonai Mitchell making 2 ridiculously stupid plays, they would have beat the Rams by about 2 touchdowns. I mean, we all know. It's the Colts. We all know that the Colts are going to win this game. I'll put it like this. The Raiders are going to try to do exactly what they did against the Bears. They're going to try to run the ball again. I just don't think the Colts are going to let that happen. They've shown all year that they're going to be able to at least stand up to this. Like, you're going to have multiple ways to beat the Colts and the Raiders defense, unless you're going to tell me Max Crosby is going to single-handedly wreck this thing. They just don't have enough to stop the Colts offense. So I'll take the Colts, and I don't think that this game, like, if this game is a close one, I'd be a little bit shocked. But for Raiders fans' sake, I hope it is. Giants at New Orleans. Ugh. Okay. The Giants sort of lucked their way into a win over the Chargers. Good for them. And New Orleans just can't buy a win despite being generally competitive. Man. I'm going to go, give me the Saints. Give me the Saints to win this game. The Giants without Malik Neighbors, I think they're going to stuff the run, and they're going to make Jackson Dart do phenomenal stuff, despite the fact he tweaked his hamstring a little bit. It's in New Orleans. I think they'll be hostile. I think that if you're the Saints, you have to sense that this is one of those few teams that you have a really realistic shot of beating. And I'm going to take the Saints. I know that could backfire really nicely, but yeah, give me the Saints. Okay, Dallas at the Jets. Oh. Ooh, okay. This could be a game where the Jets offense could show a little bit of life because that Dallas defense is not doing a whole lot. But Dallas just went. Obviously, they had the tie. Ugh. They tie with the Packers, who are much more formidable than the Jets and have a much better defense. I'm going to take the Cowboys to go to New York and win. The Cowboys' offense has been very good. Dak Prescott's been very good, and I think that we all have to give Brian Schottenheimer a lot of credit because I mean, let's be real, he was a punching bag when he got hired, and I'm guilty of that, and everybody else who's not a Cowboys fan, and even Cowboys fans are guilty of that. But he's got that offense playing really, really well, and it's not his decision to trade away Micah Parsons. We all know who did that. So I think that we have to give Brian Schottenheimer like a bit of credit here for how he's had the Cowboys playing, and I think they're going to go to New York and beat the Jets, which means the Jets season is, I'm sorry, Jets fans, their season will be essentially over. Starting 0-5, it's just, I'll try to be optimistic for you and say that anything's possible, but it's a tough road to hoe, and I would venture to say that this is already another lost year for the Jets, unfortunately. Despite the fact that they're very talented and they've been really close in a lot of these games, they're just finding ways to lose them. Okay, Denver at Philadelphia. Exciting game. Very exciting game. Okay. This is a game where Philadelphia has to be a little bit careful. I don't give the Broncos too much credit for beating the Bengals the way they did. I mean, come on. But it's a good sign at the very least that like they took a team that they're supposed to kick their ass and they kicked their ass. Like it's a lot of times these teams make it way too close, but Denver did what they're supposed to do. I think this is going to be a close game, and I think this is a game where Philadelphia has got to be very, very careful because Denver could probably stop the run. Like maybe. And I think they feel comfortable enough taking Pat Surtain and just putting him on A.J. Brown and figuring out the rest. I'll say that I'd be shocked if Philadelphia's offense dominates this game because they don't really dominate anyone. Like, congrats to the Eagles, they're 4-0. But if we're going to sit here and say they've been like super impressive in any game, that would be a bit of a lie. I mean, I guess you could say at the Tampa Bay game, they got ahead and Tampa almost came back and they closed it. So I give them credit. Like, they're doing well. It's essentially the inverse of what happened with the Rams, where the Rams sprang out ahead of them, completely outplay them, but they managed to win it. I really want to take the Broncos just because I want to. I want to see the Eagles lose. I want to be a hater. Like I can feel it. I can feel all of that just sort of like trying to explode. But I will remain unbiased. I'll take the Eagles to beat the Broncos. I am rooting for the Broncos fully, but I have not seen the Broncos offense play well enough against a good team for me to say that they're going to go into Philadelphia and beat the Eagles. So I will take the Eagles very, very grudgingly. Tennessee at Arizona. God. Okay. Listen, if you're Arizona and you're needing a game to bounce back and get right, here's your time. Tennessee's just awful, man. They're bad. They're the worst team in the NFL right now. And I mean, Arizona's lost to San Francisco's beat up squad, and then was sort of getting their ass kicked by Seattle, and then came back and made a game of it. But they've lost to two teams that are at the very least like disciplined, well coached teams, which isn't a great sign for Arizona. But a really great sign is Tennessee is neither talented nor well coached nor disciplined or any of it. So I'm going to take Arizona, especially because they're at home. And if they were to lose this game to the Titans, we would have to start having a pretty serious conversation about what Arizona's doing and about the job security of Jonathan Gannon. Like, I'm going to do a video like this somewhere around the middle of the year where we really start talking about who's on the hot seat. Because listen, there might be a coach that gets fired very hastily and really early in the year. But I think any team that's doing that before like the halfway point in the year, I think that means you should have done it in the off season. And for some stupid, ill-advised reason, you kept them around. So I would hope that nobody would do it early in the year. This should be like a back half of the year kind of conversation. But if there was gonna be a team that did it, I wouldn't be shocked if it was one from this game. Just because these are two organizations that haven't shown to be the most stable. But I'm going to take Arizona. Tampa Bay at Seattle. This will be a good game. This is an exciting game. Seattle is they lose to San Francisco in week 1. They rip off 3 in a row and have looked pretty good doing it. Played a close one with Arizona, but it's a division game. And Tampa Bay starts off 3-0 and then loses a close one to Philadelphia. Who do I think is going to win this game? Give me... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This could be close. It's in Seattle. I don't know why. Part of me just wants to pick Tampa Bay. Like, I just like what the Buccaneers do. I like their style. But I have a lot of respect for what Seattle's building. I'm not gonna lie. The biggest reason I'm not just immediately picking Seattle is because the way that Arizona game sort of spooked me on them. Not because I don't think they're good, but just I thought that once they had Arizona down, they would have sort of just put them away, and they just didn't really. And I don't know why they didn't. They aren't a team with like major health issues or anything like that. I suppose it's just they're a young team that's like still learning how to win games like that. But you know what? I'm taking Tampa Bay. I just want to. It feels right. I like what they're made of. They're tough. They're never going to go away. And I think if Seattle's not going to just put their foot down and put someone out, like Arizona might not be able to make the comeback, but we've all seen Tampa Bay can. So I'm taking Tampa Bay. Screw it. Detroit at Cincinnati. Bengals fans, look away. This is going to be a bad one. Denver has not done a whole lot to be impressive on offense, and they put up basically 30 points on you. Detroit's going to sort of try to, take you behind the woodshed and just destroy you. Yeah, give me Detroit. I think even if the Bengals were to I don't think that I don't want to say it's impossible. I think it's highly unlikely that they're as bad on offense as they were against Denver. If for no other reason than they'll be at home. But I don't think that matters. I think the Lions are going to tee off on them. And then I think that the Lions offense, they're going to get up. They're going to make them one-dimensional. And then Aiden Hutchinson and friends are going to just bully what's left of the Bengals offense. This is one of those ones where Zach Taylor is another coach that I'll talk about in terms of hot seat. I think he's been saved a couple of times by Burrow's injuries. But I think that there's going to be a time where Cincinnati's got to realize, hey, man, there are other teams that have backups in there that at least have appeared competent. And the Bengals just appear non-functional. So I think Detroit's going to sort of take it to them. Okay, the Commanders at the Chargers. Both teams coming off of losses, Falcons and beating the Commanders, and then Chargers losing to the Giants. I think the Chargers are going to win this game. The Commanders' defense isn't playing well. Despite whether or not Jaden Daniels plays, doesn't really matter to me because he wasn't playing super great anyways to start the year, and he'll be probably be a little tentative off his injury. But I just think the Chargers are going to come out angry too. And I think that the Chargers offense is going to be able to score on the Commander defense. That's about it. So I'll take the Chargers to bounce back. Sunday Night Football, Patriots at Bills. Bills wearing their rivalry uniforms. New England's coming off a very impressive win, just sort of beating the snot out of the Carolina Panthers. But the Buffalo Bills are not the Carolina Panthers. I think New England could make this game potentially more competitive than people think, but it's going to take a couple things that they haven't been able to do consistently. If they'd play clean and they just don't turn the ball over and shoot themselves in the foot like over and over again. If they just do that, they might be able to have a competitive loss to the Bills. If they don't, the Bills are going to annihilate them. So I see this game either way. I'm picking Buffalo. The matter of how close this is depends entirely on does New England want to play clean ball and give a good showing for themselves, or is the moment a little bit too big against a little bit too good of an opponent and it goes badly? Only time will tell, but regardless, I'm picking the Bills. Monday Night Football, Kansas City at Jacksonville. Kansas City coming off blowing out the Ravens, and Jacksonville eking out a win in San Francisco. Kansas City. I have no faith in the Jaguars being able to actually sustain success. Despite the fact they won that game, they won it kind of incidentally in a lot of ways. Like, you give them some credit in terms of their defense is good, but their offense is very, very inconsistent. And against Kansas City, you're going to have to do a lot more. And I wouldn't take the Jags to beat the Chiefs on pretty much any day. Like, as long as 15 is running out there for the Chiefs and they have Andy Reid on the sidelines, I will take them to beat the Jaguars. So I'll do that. I will pick them. And then we have a couple teams on bye for the first time this year. The teams on bye are Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh. So we'll let those teams enjoy their weeks off. All of those teams going into the bye week with a win, except for Green Bay, who's going in with a tie, which was ties are maybe my least favorite outcome in the entire league. So that's the weekend. Hope everybody enjoys and has a great weekend of football. Once again, hit like, hit subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, peace.